after that wonderful session, we have with us on the stage, delighted to have Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri on the stage with us. He has diplomat par excellence. He's been our representative at the United Nations. He's had a diplomatic career of 39 years. 39 years. One of India's most distinguished diplomats, has fought innumerable battles successfully for India in multiple global forums. And he's among those politicians who has had a distinguished career serving the country as a bureaucrat and then comes into politics and is handling key portfolios today. But besides all that, Mr. Puri, if you don't mind, for me what matters is that I'm sitting before a college senior. So in Hindu college, we are very respectful to our seniors. And Mr. Puri knows that. You know, in Hindu college, there are only two categories of people. Fachas, that is freshers, and seniors. So before you, I'm a facha here today. But we'll leave that aside for the moment. Great to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think Rajiv set the stage just before you. So I'll ask a first broad question. What excites you the most before we go into your ministry about the possibilities ahead for India as a country and as an economy? Mr. Puri.
Thank you very much. I felt privileged to sit in on the penultimate or final section of your interaction with Rajiv. I'm not saying this because he's a friend and colleague, but I think some of the points that he made need to be annotated from where I sit today. First of all, the crisis that you referred to in 2008 and the crisis that we faced towards the end of 2019, these are not analogous. These are entirely different. Arnab, if you recall, the 2008 crisis arose in the subprime lending sector of the US market because there were some in the housing market, there were people, easy money flowing around, and that cancer had spread to different parts of the world. Fortunately, because we were not as integrated with the rest of the economy, we were saved from that devastation, but that was purely an economic crisis. You could talk about mismanagement, of not having been able to deal with the fundamentals. The crisis that faced us in 2019, and that's where I was very happy with what Rajiv said about Atmanirbharta. Look, I say this often enough, you've also hinted at it. I served in Geneva and New York to head the Indian missions to the UN, and I was accredited to the WHO, and then I was on the Security Council in New York. We've dealt with earlier crises coming from the health sector pandemics, H1N1, Ebola, SARS. SARS had a much higher mortality rate than COVID-19. But COVID-19 was in a class apart. It reminded you of what happened in 1918 in the Spanish flu. So the first submission I wish to make to you and through you to this distinguished audience is that the history of this period, and I'm not dividing the history in terms of the 7 years of the Modi government or the earlier periods, but the history of this period will be written in terms of a pre-COVID period and a post-COVID period. And I think Rajiv's basic assertion that we covered ourselves, and I choose my words very carefully, I'm not saying we covered ourselves with distinction, actually we did. When the pandemic hit us actually, it started rearing its ugly head towards the end of 2019. Some of us were not coming to terms with it. Even the WHO, I recall a press conference I was doing, and I used the word pandemic. Arnab, I think this was January or February of 2020. And a bright researcher sitting behind me says, you know, you're using the word pandemic, even the WHO is not using it. I said, fair enough. But when we understood...
This is when? This is...
February of 2020, because the crisis came in towards the end of 2019. That's why it's called COVID-19.
Yeah.
I think and I don't want to go into the politics of this situation, I think the genesis or the point of origin, some information, if it had become available earlier, the world would have woken up to the prospects of what needed to be dealt with earlier. You were left with a choice then of having to choose between life and livelihood. And I think the full credit of our Chief Executive, the Honorable Prime Minister, he discovered at that point of time when our health care system was not up to it, we opted for life, went in for a complete lockdown in 2020 March. As Civil Aviation Minister, I know we flew in 1,500 tons of medical supplies. We sent 940 tons of medical supplies within the country. We had to literally ensure that the healthcare system was rebuilt to deal with this pandemic. Now, that is when the real story starts. That is when Atmanirbharta assumes a dimension which is entirely unique. I have been told, and I'm an old trade negotiator, I've spent years in the GATT and the WTO. Atmanirbharta does not mean turning your back on the war, to the world. Atmanirbharta does not mean that you are turning inwards. Atmanirbharta means when you are faced with an emergency, to ensure that your own domestic, productive, entrepreneurial, pent-up force is released. Now, let me give you an example. Today, I was trying to work out a new generation of retail outlets for energy. You know, I came across a figure which startled me. Yesterday, there were 6 crore people who went to the retail outlets, which is a petrol pump, to get petrol or energy. Do you know what that represents in terms of an economic force? I mean, if 6 crore people are not only buying petrol, but if 6 crore people are also, let us say, you ensure that they can access a number of other services. I've lived many years in Europe, I've lived in the United States. A lot of people turn around and say, well, let's go to a Michelin star restaurant for lunch or dinner. A lot of people say, let's go and that restaurant at the petrol pump on the 23rd kilometer, etc. So you do that transformation. What you were showing about land, smart cities, that's one part of it. I think the vaccine story, I was a member of the GOM, what the Prime Minister and his team ended up producing today. Now, finally, I come to energy. Arnab, when COVID hit us, many people reacted differently. Today, my petrol, diesel offtake at the pump is way higher than pre-COVID. The economy is firing on all 6 cylinders, if it is a 6-cylinder vehicle, or what Rajiv was saying in terms of the fastest growing and the figures. I saw a tweet by the Honorable Finance Minister, I think a day or two ago, where she's taken all the estimates of all the rating agencies and the World Bank and the IMF and put the update on it. Each one is higher than was anticipated. I think that is the spirit in which you asked me a question, I've given you a long-winded reply.
No, you're on. So you have not given me a long-winded reply. In fact, I'm enjoying it because it just takes off from where, you know, we had the previous conversation with Rajiv, and I loved his candor. Let me take this forward with you, since you're putting me on track. Okay, let's not take the comparison of how that economic challenge was dealt with. No doubt it was very limited and constricted. This was a life-changing episode, no comparison. What we want to know, to the extent possible, I don't want you to reveal inside secrets, what was the government thinking between March 2020 and say the first 6 months? See, we want to know the initial response. What was the thinking within the government? Because you were dealing with a situation to which you had no geographical or time boundary. You did not know, you were putting a brave face to it, but you did not know when it would end, to the extent to which it would go. But it was an opportunity and a big challenge for you. Just if you can give us some sense of what the inside thinking, mood, planning, vision, approach was within the government to dealing with it from an economic perspective.
I'm happy to do that.
Thank you.
You provide a 6-month period, which means in effect you're looking at starting April, May, June, July, up to September, the 2 quarters of that financial year. First of all, The lockdown, as I said, was comprehensive and total. So in the first quarter, because you had a lockdown in 20th, 25th March, April, May, June, you had a rate of growth which went down minus 23%, okay? Then you psychologically moved from the premium on life to livelihood. And something that many of us don't know, most of us in the Council of Ministers were told every day to speak to about 10 or 15 people in different parts of the country. And the people we were speaking to were, and someday they were academics, someday they were, shopkeepers, someday they were subdivisional magistrates, district magistrates.
Say what? Say what?
Ask them what was happening on the ground.
Feedback.
Feedback. Constant.
Would they give you the feedback?
Oh, 100%. The feedback was superb. We asked them, what is the rate in terms of precise calibration that you want us to open the economy? So the opening of the economy was actually determined by the feedback on the ground. There were some areas which were saying, please slow down. If I open one of your northeastern states, small population,
right.
I was so impressed. He said, look, we can handle the pandemic within our confines. But if you have people coming in from outside, look, I hate to admit this, but there was a chief minister of a very important country, a very, very important state, turning around, calling me and saying, I don't want to admit this in public, but will you please get the trains stopped? I said, I'm not the railway minister. He said, no, I'm appealing to you as a friend. I said, what are you worried about? He said, a lot of these migrant labor are coming back because, people were spreading rumors. They were doing all kinds of indulging in activities which I think border on the criminal. Spreading rumor, getting people to leave. So if a lot of people leave, I'll have less
Creating
people.
situations.
Absolutely.
Playing it up in the media.
We are playing it up
building
in the media,
a negative narrative.
creating a scare. And that continued during the vaccine phase. I'll come to that in a minute. So I told him, I said, you are placing yourself in a very vulnerable position. You are telling me to use my good offices behind the scene, and publicly you're saying, I'm wanting to welcome people back.
What a contradiction.
Okay, now, let's go to the vaccine phase. I have said repeatedly, and I've been a little blunt, that we did have a vaccine manufacturing capacity in the public sector. Arnab, between 2004 and 14, I think in 2010, they dismantled it. Why? Ostensibly for a good reason. Public sector should not be making vaccines, or maybe we should have private sector. But there was no shift to the private sector. Fortunately for us, when we had to open the economy, it became very clear. The calibrated manner in which you open the economy has to be sustained, and it has to be cushioned with a certain amount of vaccine which you require.
Yeah.
Now, you had one facility in Pune which utilizes research done by Oxford Zeneca and at Oxford University. AstraZeneca, produced under license in Pune, ready. Now, clearly that needed to be supported with another entity. So, there's an entity in South India, I think.
Krishna,
very well.
Bharat Biotech.
Exactly. So, you needed to expedite that. And look at the chorus which came.
January this year.
Yeah, chorus which came. Clinical trials and phase 3 trials not completed. So I told some of these people whom you and I know very well, I said, look, please see what it says in the English language. Forget about any other language. It says emergency use authorization. Are we in an emergency or not?
Of course.
This use authorization is, look, till such time as these trials are completed, can we do? Look, then first you try and create doubt and what everybody calls vaccine hesitancy. All right, once that is overcome, then you turn around and say, but where is the vaccine? One Yuva Neta, Modi ji, हमारे बच्चों की vaccine कहाँ है? So my famous resort was, Rajasthan में तो कूड़े में फेंक दी और पंजाब में उसमें मुनाफाखोरी कर रहे हो. My point simply is that every time they have been on the wrong side of the discussion. Today, these same guys, Arnab, are missing. I normally, before I go on to an interaction of this kind with a distinguished audience and celebrity anchor like you, I check. आज का figure क्या है? Rajiv, 120 crore. 120 crore, which means in effect, and look, I'm not saying it because he's a colleague and a friend. You know, please listen to what the sensible people like Mansukh-bhai Mandavia and all were saying right in the beginning. We were facing an emergency crisis. We have given them advance money. We have taken a large number of other steps. The vaccine is coming. Today, you're in the happy situation. I may have my figures slightly wrong. 82% of our adult population has at least received one shot. The rest of them, I don't know. I think they've developed the antibodies. But if you are vaccinating, administering 2 crores of vaccine doses in a day, you don't have a problem. All right. Which is not to say that we've overcome the problem. I'm not saying that. There is talk about a variation, a mutation in some part of the world. But today, look at the difference. Today, you have the healthcare system in place, you have the vaccine in place. Today, people are asking, Mr. Goswami, would you like a booster shot? Yeah. And Mr. Goswami, as a matter of choice, can answer. Then secondly, this is far more serious. 1,500 PSA oxygen plants produced and set up by PM CARES. My oil companies have done about 120, I know, in one day, which I was, so they may have done more. Today, you have the hospitals, you have the beds, you have the oxygen, and you have the vaccine. Plus, you have a confident government which is able today, which has taken the leadership and is now talking about double-digit growth. It is talking about energy sustainability. That is what I call Atmanirbhar.
Absolutely. Before Sohail takes the next question, one follow-up point. Was there a moment of doubt, Mr. Puri? Was there, I mean, because you came under attack in a big way. Rajiv said earlier, he said, our job is to continue, something to the effect that job is to continue focused and not be responsive to criticism. But when you have a prolonged crisis, 18, 19 months, right? Was there, I just want to know from the inside working of, everybody likes to write a postscript, but within the government, within the ministry, were there moments of doubt, you know, whether you would be able to steer the course? Did that happen? It's perhaps human.
First, I think you're referring to the second wave.
Yeah, I'm referring to the peak of the first wave and the second
going into the second wave.
Yeah.
No, I think that's both a relevant question, and I think in this context, it should be asked. I can tell you what I know. I mean, and I'll also make a disclosure later, but I can tell you the Prime Minister at that point of time was personally speaking to the Chief Ministers on a large number of occasions. On one particular date, one of my researchers here will tell me, I think it was this year sometime in March or something, in a meeting with the Chief Ministers, Rasal, see if you can get me the date, he actually said, please watch out, before the whole thing came, the peak of it came, he said, please watch out, we need to do this, but you know, people get worried very quickly, then people become complacent very quickly. I mean, I personally think, I shouldn't be saying this, but I think now we are in a slight age where we may be becoming complacent. But I have never seen the Prime Minister of the country or any of the other senior managers of the situation showing even a little bit of doubt. As far as I'm concerned, I'm always full of doubt. I wake up in the morning and say, my God, 26 January, Central Vista Avenue has to be completed. So I sweat a bit myself, then I have developed a thick skin and a sense of humor. By the end of the day, I stopped worrying about Central Vista Avenue. I said, oh my God, Parliament has to be completed by October. That's our professional job. But no, the answer is the government in its functioning was full throttle, completely eye on the ball. They saw the ball turning. They saw what is happening. Even now, whenever I meet the Honorable Health Minister, I'm sitting with him, or I meet Rajiv, what do I ask? Few months ago, one of the states in the south was giving us a cause for concern. You know, progressive talk comes from there of a particular kind. But the figures were looking a little worrying. I asked Mansukh Bhai, I said, what is that? Wo bhi theek hai. Now, so you are reviewing it all the time. He is reviewing it, constantly reviewing. And let me say, if some variant in some part of the world, let's say seeps in. I'll tell you, I have never said this to anyone. I'm saying somebody filed a criminal case against me in Bihar. Why? As civil aviation minister, I had invited COVID in. As if COVID is a discernible guy with a passport whom you can say, please come to India. I mean, you're dealing with all kinds of people. But no, the answer is, I think we are fortunate that you had somebody with you can talk about other parts of the anatomy, but nerves of steel. Because when you get attacked, it's very easy to, start succumbing to that and then start wallowing in that, अरे यहाँ से भी गाली पड़ रही है, वहाँ से गाली नहीं. But my own line है, जो गाली पड़ेगी तो give it back as good as you can.
सर, अब मेरा सवाल आपसे ये कि आप उस मंत्रालय से आते हैं जिसको मुझे लगता है पूरा देश सुनना चाहता है, और ख़ासतौर पर चुनाव नज़दीक हैं. तो पहले ये कहा गया, जिस बात का आप जिसका जिक्र कर रहे थे, अटैक होता है चारों तरफ से, जिसका आप कई बार जवाब भी देते हैं. तो पहले कहा गया कि पेट्रोल प्राइसेस कम होंगे, वो आपने कम कर दिए 10 रुपये और 5 रुपये. उसके बाद स्टेट्स ने बहुत आनाकानी की. अब लोग आपको सुनना चाहते हैं कि कुछ और रियायत होगी क्या, कुछ सिलेंडर के दाम भी कुछ कम होंगे.
राजीव जी,
सुहेल
जी, माफी चाहता हूं मैं. देखिए, पहले आप ये एनालिसिस कीजिए कि वो जो निंदा कहां से आ रही थी. पहले इसका देखिए, मैं इकोनॉमिक्स का स्टूडेंट नहीं हूं, मैंने थोड़ी खुद पढ़ी है. मैं इतिहास, मैंने हिस्ट्री का स्टूडेंट हूं, बट मैंने थोड़ी सी इकोनॉमिक्स प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में सीख गया हूं. मैंने हमेशा ये समझा कि अगर दाम बढ़ जाए किसी चीज का, तो उसकी वो थोड़ा कम होगी डिमांड. लोग बहुत दाम बढ़ गया इसलिए वो लोगों ने कम इस्तेमाल किया, वो तो हुआ नहीं. तो कहां से क्रिटिसिज्म आ रही थी? आई एम नॉट सेइंग गुड और बैड, आई एम नॉट डूइंग अ वैल्यू जजमेंट. क्रिटिसिज्म आ रही थी कुछ ऐसे हमारे जो विरोधी दल है राजनीतिक, वो कह रहे थे अरे मोदी जी इतना दाम बढ़ गया, ये हो गया, वो हो गया. अरे भाई, मैंने उस समय भी कहा था कि जब आपकी सरकार थी 2004 और 14 में, 2010 में आपने पेट्रोल को डीरेगुलेट कर दिया. डीरेगुलेट का मतलब यह है कि आप यहां पे एडमिनिस्ट्रेड प्राइस मैकेनिज्म नहीं होगा कि अर्नब जी और मैं सुबह नाश्ता के दौरान तय कर लेंगे पेट्रोल का क्या प्राइस होगा. वो इंटरनेशनल मार्केट डिटरमिन करेगी. अच्छा, आपने अपने समय क्या किया, ये बड़ी अच्छा है. इन्होंने अपने समय दाम को नीचे रखने के लिए 2005 में एक निर्णय लिया. वो क्या था कि 1,40,000 करोड़ के ये ऑयल बॉन्ड्स फ्लोट करेंगे. और ये ऑयल बॉन्ड्स का क्या मतलब था कि 15 साल बाद ये मैच्योर होंगे. तो आपने इनसे कुछ पूछा, उन्होंने कहा कि एक मंत्री, मैं नाम नहीं लेना चाहता हूं, ये उनकी ब्रिलियंस की निशानी है, शेयर ब्रिलियंस, कि आप अब दाम कम करना चाहिए तो अपने ऐसा कोई स्कीम बनाओ कि आपके ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन को उसका दाम उठाना पड़े. तो भाई साहब, 2005 में जो ऑयल बॉन्ड्स फ्लोट हुए, 2020 से हमारी सरकार को हर वर्ष 10,000 14,000 करोड़ वापस करना, और अभी 1,30,000 करोड़ वापस करना है. तो ये लोग कह रहे थे अब पेट्रोल का दाम कम करो. अब मैं आपको थोड़ा उदाहरण देता हूं. एक हमारे बड़े माननीय मुख्यमंत्री हैं दिल्ली के, ये अरविंद केजरीवाल जी, मेरे मित्र हैं, मुझे आके मिलते हैं. मैं इनसे बहुत इंप्रेस्ड हूं. ये जहां जाते हैं रेवड़ियां बांट के आते हैं. क्या करते हैं? 300 यूनिट बिजली मुफ्त. ये तो हर जगह जाते हैं, चाहे वो स्टेट में चुनाव हो रहा हो या ना हो रहा, 300 यूनिट बिजली की मुफ्त बांट आते हैं. एक और काम करते हैं. अब इन्होंने ये कहा पंजाब में कि जिस परिवार में एक महिला या 2 महिला या 3 महिला है, वो 1,000 रुपए पर फीमेल मेंबर मिलेगा. वो मैं एक पढ़ा लिखा आदमी है जिसका मैं बहुत एडमायरर हूं, उसने एक ट्वीट किया और मेरे को एकदम ही कैप्चर्ड इट कि पंजाब का कर्जा आज 2,82,000 करोड़ है. दिस इज एग्जिस्टिंग डेट 2,82,000 करोड़. अगर आप एक परिवार में 2 महिला को 1,000 रुपए देंगे एक महीने में, उसमें 13,200 करोड़ और हो जाएगा. अब मैंने इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल्स देखे हैं, मैंने अपने किस्म, मैंने ऐसा कोई नहीं देखा कि आप रेसिपी ये बनाए दैट इट इज बाउंड टू फेल.
व्हाट इज द लिंक टू ऑयल प्राइसेस?
कमिंग टू ऑयल प्राइसेस. सो क्या किया ये, एक तो केजरीवाल जी ने ऑयल का दाम दिल्ली में कम नहीं किया, ठीक है, रेवड़ियां बांट रहे हैं उत्तराखंड में और पंजाब में, और दिल्ली में जो बीजेपी स्टेट्स ने किया अपना दाम कम करने, वो नहीं किया। तो हुआ क्या, दिल्ली में हमारे जो आउटलेट्स है, रिटेल आउटलेट्स, वहां सेल 25% कम हो गई है। अच्छा, अब मैं ऐसा ना लगे कि मैं केजरीवाल जी की फ्रेंडशिप को अब बता रहा हूं। अब महाराष्ट्र में क्या हुआ, बहुत ही बढ़िया, सबसे ज्यादा हल्ला वहां पे हुआ, उन्होंने विदेशी जो इंपोर्टेड शराब है, क्या कहते हैं उसको, इंपोर्टेड लिकर, हाँ IMFL, नहीं IMFL नहीं, ऑल्सो द इम्पोर्ट, ओके, इंडियन मेड फॉरेन लिकर, उसकी जो ड्यूटी है 50% कम कर दी। इन अदर वर्ड्स, द स्टेट इज विलिंग टू फॉरगो रेवेन्यू ऑन अल्कोहल बट नॉट विलिंग टू लोअर द वैट। सो एनीवे, व्हाट हैज हैपेंड, आई टेल यू। आप, नाउ आई एम कमिंग बैक टू योर क्वेश्चन, कभी कभी मैं थोड़ा डाइवर्ट करता हूं फॉर मोर इम्पैक्ट। अभी मैं आ रहा था, मैंने देखा अभी जो ऑयल प्राइसेस हैं वहाँ का 82, 83 से गिर के आज 70 कहीं बहुत कम आ गई हैं। पर वो, उसके बारे में मुझे थोड़ी घबराहट इसलिए है, वो इसलिए आई है, एक तो स्ट्रेटेजिक रिजर्व हम लोगों ने रिलीज किया, वेदर दैट इज सिंबॉलिक और इट इज रियल आई डोंट नो, बट इट्स अ वेरी बोल्ड मूव। वी हैव टोल्ड द प्रोड्यूसिंग कंट्रीज कि आप अगर नहीं करो। दूसरा, हमने अपनी एक्साइज ड्यूटी जो है 5 रुपए और 10 रुपए कम कर दी, कई स्टेट्स ने भी कर दी, एक्सेट्रा। But there is also a fear. What do we tell the producing countries? Look, if you don't exercise caution, you will be in a situation where your desire to maximize profit in the short run will undermine global economic recovery. And if global economic recovery gets undermined, तो आप तेल किसको बेचेंगे? मैं एक और पॉइंट कहता आया हूँ।
सर, वो कहते हैं कि हमारे टाइम में तो प्रति बैरल $100 पार था, और हमारे टाइम में 70 में पेट्रोल था, आपने शतक पार कर दिया।
देखिए, ये जो अनपढ़ों की बात है ना, इसको मत पढ़िए। उस समय इंटरनेशनल प्राइस क्या था, ये क्या था, कितना ऑयल बॉन्ड्स ने, तभी मैंने आपको बताया। देखिए, कई बातों में करते, हमारे टाइम में क्या था, अगर आपके टाइम में इतना ही अच्छा था और आपकी पॉलिटिकल थॉट इतनी मच्योर है, क्यों आपकी पार्टी को छोड़ के लोग बाकी इधर उधर जा रहे हैं, उसको छोड़िए। मैं सिंपल पॉइंट इज, petrol prices today are deregulated. They are determined by the international market. Diesel we had to do in 2014. But today I am, as petroleum and natural gas minister, very confident that this government has shown the way, और हमें consumer को high prices से insulate करने के लिए जो करना होगा, इसलिए नहीं मैं कह रहा हूँ चुनाव आ रहे हैं, but generally this government has done it all the time. पहले ये देखिए, हमारे टाइम में हुआ क्राइसिस ही अलग है। महामारी के दौरान 900 करोड़ से अधिक लोगों को दिन में 3 समय का राशन मुफ्त दिया। अभी कैबिनेट मीटिंग जो हुई है परसों, उसमें ये 4 महीने के लिए गरीब कल्याण योजना का वो फैसिलिटी हैज बीन एक्सटेंडेड। वैक्सीन फ्री हैज बीन डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड टू ओवर 1 करोड़ पीपल। सो यू टेक द एक्सरसाइज एंड यूज इट फॉर पर्पसेस विच आर designed to benefit the people in the economically weaker section, lower income group. On the other hand, there are people who are reducing the revenue on Indian made foreign liquor. So, and distributing goodies and rewardis to on free electricity outside and keeping the petrol prices high in Delhi.
तो सर, उनका सवाल यही, ये योजनाएं जो स्कीम्स आपकी हैं तो अभी भी चल रही हैं, जो टैक्सेस से ही चलेंगे, एंड यू हैव रिड्यूसेस,
तो वो तो that is what we have to do. That is why अगर वो स्कीम नहीं चल रही होती तो maybe we would have reduced it even more. But that's not an argument. Your argument is आपका क्या प्लान है. This is in politics you come and say, अरे आपने ये नहीं किया, मैंने ये किया था. भाई, that situation is not analogous to this. अगर आप मान लीजिए, if you want to contest election in a particular state, please come and say what you will do. In the case of one party, we have heard what they want to do. They want to make it freebies all along.
सर क्या,
प्लीज sorry.
सर क्या, एक सवाल जो मैंने आपसे शुरू में पूछा, क्या पेट्रोल डीजल के प्राइस और कम होंगे, क्या गैस सिलेंडर के दाम कम होंगे? इसके साथ मेरा एक सवाल और, क्या जीएसटी में सर पेट्रोल डीजल आएगा, और स्टेट्स का इस पर क्या रिएक्शन?
मैं अगली जन्म में आई वांट टू बिकम अ एंकर, बिकॉज यू कैन आस्क अ क्वेश्चन है, 4 क्वेश्चन है। देखिए, दाम का क्या होगा मैं बताता हूं। दाम डिटरमिन करता है सऊदी अरेबिया, यूएई, रशिया एज पार्ट ऑफ ओपेक प्लस। इस समय उन्होंने क्या किया हुआ है, उन्होंने जो कर्व है सप्लाई का, डिमांड से थोड़ा नीचे रखा हुआ है। इसका मतलब हुआ है, अब वो हमें कह रहे हैं कि नहीं, ये 1-2 महीने की बात है, 2 महीने के बाद ज्यादा हम जो सप्लाई वाला होगा वो, और डिमांड, देयर विल बी मोर सप्लाई अवेलेबल देन डिमांड। दैट्स व्हाट दे से, नंबर 1। नंबर 2, अरे आप इसको जीएसटी में लाना चाहते हैं, हम तैयार हैं। अभी केरला के हाई कोर्ट ने एक ऑर्डर दिया कि जीएसटी की काउंसिल की जो मीटिंग होती है उसमें दिस शुड बी पुट ऑन द एजेंडा। तो जहां तक मुझे याद है कि शायद लखनऊ में थी ये मीटिंग जीएसटी काउंसिल में, our honorable finance minister put it on the GST council.
What happened?
They all opposed it. All the state governments opposed it.
Yeah.
Now I am saying something. Now I'm going to risk my neck.
No, no, please.
They never will reduce revenue from liquor and this. They only use this as a talking point against us. That is why my view is that they will not be able to pursue these high prices because their actions have been caught on camera, fully recorded.
No, also because the political impact is more on you.
See,
Isn't it because the political... But pushing the point further, it's a good job, I can tell you, being a
It's a
TV...
good one, no?
Being an anchor is a good job.
I also
can tell
think that the normal instinct that a politician has occasionally of, sock it into them, I can't do that.
No, I'm just saying...
You can do it on a...
No, I'm saying it. I'm telling you, see, two days back you decided to release 5 million barrels of crude from your strategic reserves, right? In consultation with major energy producers. You didn't do it unilaterally. So as a consumer, Sohail jo puch raha hai, theek bol raha hai, is that going to lead to a further dip in prices? You see, dil mange more. You released the barrels. Why did you release them? Who did you speak to? Obviously you had some plan in mind. Are we going to get the benefit of that? Now you know that...
Yeah. No, Sohail is very right in asking the question.
Yeah.
But to predict oil prices, it means you must be looking into the heads of the ministers in the OPEC Plus. You must also be a soothsayer, You must be able to imagine, these are the things, kya hoga? Look, I just spent 2 days interacting with them day and night, talking to them. I have an idea, but I'm not sure that they will stick to it. You are making a transition today. You are going to go from traditional energy to green energy, all right? We are already going to 20% of biofuels by 2025 against 2030, which means you'll be getting your fuel from, agricultural products and sunshine and so on. We are going on to green hydrogen in a very big way, which means what? If you get power at the right price and you've got a, ability to split water, what is it called, an electrolyzer, you're going to get there. But anyone who knows the international situation, India will be the driver of energy growth for the next 20-30 years.
Superb.
Therefore, I think we have a little bit of leverage.
Superb.
I keep telling people when I don't have another argument, remember, we are the land of Mahatma Gandhi. You know what we did? Civil disobedience. You know what we did? Satyagraha. Yeah. If I can appeal to my citizens to reduce the consumption of petrol by 3% or 5%, problem solved, global problem solved.
Is it an exciting time to be in government? Because you have a vision of the future and you have so much to do.
I was asked this by another channel, are you enjoying being in government? So I said, this enjoyment, I don't know what it means. You asked me, did I enjoy being a civil servant? How do you define enjoyment? I don't know. It's challenging. I think most of the time you are able to get something reasonable done, which constitutes seva of a particular kind, that gives you satisfaction, and then you keep your fingers crossed, bhai, ye hamara samay nikal jaye. When I was civil aviation minister, what were my priorities? Make sure airlines don't, fold up during the pandemic, make sure Vande Bharat flights take place, make sure Kushinagar gets built, make sure Air India gets sold. What would have happened if some of these things would not have happened? What happened if 1 or 2 airlines had got... I would have been the fall guy.
Given your urban development housing ministry, we'll have a crisis if you're not successful. Because we have 2-3% of the world's land mass. We are gifted with almost 20% of the world's population. We need to build cities. We are going to have 87 crore people who will have to live in cities, Mr. Puri, in 2050.
100%, you're 100% right.
So if you don't succeed in creating that scale of urbanization quickly, the country will be in trouble. So just tell me about...
100% we'll succeed because we have succeeded. 100%. I'll give you statistics straight away.
So metro, non-metro, spread, give me a broad...
No, I give you a broad picture. Prime Minister decided that it was his dream that by March 2022, every Indian, no matter where he or she lived, must have a roof above their home. It must be a pakka thing, built sustainably, toilet, kitchen, gas cylinder, Ujwala, and the title must be in the name of the lady of the house. Female empowerment, goal 5 of SDG. We did a demand assessment. It was we needed to build 1 crore urban units. We did a revised assessment. It said 1 crore 12 lakh. I'm very happy to inform you, saturation, as of yesterday, we had done 1 crore 14 lakhs. So way beyond the target. And 85% grounded, something 85 lakh grounded, and I think 50, 60 lakh already handed over to the Labardhi. If you combine this scheme with the Grameen people, the rural people, it's over 3 crores. So this is what government is doing. If you look at your real estate sector, I mean, I don't know whether you've got real estate companies sponsoring you or not, but most of them are feeling better today than they were earlier. Number two, and this is the more important thing, economic activity is picking up. Transactions are taking place, but more than that, they're taking place in a green and sustainable manner. The Prime Minister declared 1 year, full year, as Green Housing Technology Challenge Year. We ensured that 54 cutting-edge green technologies in the world were empaneled, and then he had a project where 1,000 built homes built to the latest green technology in 6 places. 1,000 have to be built in 1 year, and 5 of them are delivering. One place we had some land acquisition. And if you ever have, your channel has time, I'd like to invite you to the top floor of Nirman Bhavan, where we have an urban observatory. That urban observatory actually shows, through use of satellite imagery and drones, etc., how each project is doing everywhere. You know, earlier you asked to think project is sanctioned on paper, and years later you discover that it remained on paper. Here, exactly how many people are working on each project, how much, which floor has come up. I'd be happy to, show some of your colleagues that.
We'll accompany you next time the Prime Minister comes in unannounced to see what's happening at the Central Vista. I remember last time the Prime Minister landed and Mr. Puri did not know. I asked him, did you know? He said, I had absolutely no idea. The Prime Minister, I think, returned from his America trip and landed up there.
No, make sure. The whole idea was that I didn't know. The whole idea was he wanted to go there unannounced so that there's nobody who's prepared a briefing in advance. So I'll just tell you that poor engineer who was on the ground, this was the evening.
Oh, they were very happy.
Yeah.
They were very
Prime
happy.
Minister arrived after a 16-hour journey, spent 2.5 hours with his 2 senior-most ministers. After that, he suddenly decides to go there. So he got a call saying कि कोई SPG का security देखने आ रहा है. This man said, ये तो मेरा पूजा time है. Luckily, he had better sense and said, अच्छा मैं पूजा बाद में करूँगा, आ जाता हूँ. The Honorable Prime Minister arrived at 9 o'clock, spent an hour and a half there. And I'll tell you something else, which I shouldn't, but I will, because I'm in a
लेकिन उसके बाद बहुत पॉलिटिकल मैसेजेस भी आए.
नहीं, मेरी बात सुन लो. तो 9, सवा 9 बजे चले गए. हमें भी पता लगा, हमारे किसी ने बताया, हमने भी ट्वीट कर दिया. अगले दिन सुबह 6:30, 7 बजे, when I was doing my morning walk, etc., saying, boss wants to speak to you. So I told Lakshmi, मुझे लगता है कि कल रात को इंस्पेक्शन में कोई गड़बड़ हुई होगी. फिर मैंने कहा हो नहीं सकता. मैंने कहा रात को अगर इंस्पेक्शन में कोई गड़बड़ निकलती को रात को ही फोन आ जाता. He wouldn't have waited till the morning. So look, you are dealing with a person who's hands-on. He monitors most of the thing. He does it through technology. He does it through, he takes a meeting every month on Pragati, all the major projects. He personally, he can tell you on each project where the bottleneck is and where it's stuck and how to be. I'm sorry, political messaging.
So उसके बाद पॉलिटिकल ट्वीट्स आने लगे बहुत से, और उसके बाद जो है जिस तरह से आपको भी अटैक किया गया उस दौरान, सेंट्रल विस्टा को लेकर बात कर रहे हैं, तो उस पर आपने रिएक्ट भी किया. अब लोगों को जो आपको सुन रहे हैं उनको जरा अगर आप बता सकें कि रियलिटी क्या है, क्या उस पर काम भी शुरू हुआ है जिसको कहा जाता है कि ये प्रधानमंत्री का घर है, क्योंकि उसमें तो बहुत सी चीजें लोग कहते हैं अभी उस पर काम भी शुरू नहीं हुआ जिस पे शोर हो रहा है.
नहीं, ऐसा है. सेंट्रल विस्टा वो क्या है? एक बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है. उसके अंदर एक सेंट्रल विस्टा एवेन्यू है जो राजपथ की एक्सपेंशन है, जो हमें 26 जनवरी तक करना है, क्योंकि वहां पे 26 जनवरी की परेड इन द 75th ईयर ऑफ आवर इंडिपेंडेंस वो होगी. वो दैट इज अ project which is being implemented. Second project is the parliament, because Prime Minister is very keen that the winter session of parliament in the 75th year should be in the new building. तो उसमें काम हो रहा. बाकी कई लोग चर्चा करते हैं, वो कोई कहते हैं कि वो जब शाम को बच्चे आइसक्रीम खाने जाएंगे वो जगह कम होगी. तो मैंने आई बीन कॉलिंग पीपल आउट इन माई ओन वे मैंने कहा ये 60 सिविल सर्वेंट्स ने साइन किया, एक जगह 100 और ने किया था, और उसने इफ रिपोर्ट्स आर टू बी बिलीव्ड, यू नो दिस बिल्डिंग इज नॉट लकी देयरफॉर। अरे भाई दिस इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल पीपल। और मैं एक बार गया सेंट्रल विस्टा एवेन्यू पे, मुझे कोई कुछ ट्रोलिंग हो रही थी कि जामुन पेड़ उखाड़ दिए गए हैं, तो मैंने क्वेश्चन अपने आप पूछा, जब ये टफ क्वेश्चन पूछने से पहले हम खुद इनको कह रहे थे अर्नाब जी पूछो, मैंने कहा जी वो जामुन ट्री कहाँ है, तो सबने कहा देखो आप ऊपर है वो है, तो मैंने कहा इसमें हटाया गया कि नहीं, कहते नहीं है तो नहीं हटाया गया। बट लुक एट द विशियस ट्रोलिंग, लुक एट द टाइम, नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स दे हैव बीन टू द सुप्रीम कोर्ट, इवन डे बिफोर यस्टरडे द सुप्रीम कोर्ट थ्रू आउट समथिंग एंड सेड इट वाज फ्रिवोलस। यू सी, सो this is the beauty of democracy. You produce your own narrative, say this is the honest God's truth, and then you start attacking it. But that narrative is wrong. अब जो आप कह रहे हैं किसी सेगमेंट की बात करें सेंट्रल विस्टा के सारे प्रोजेक्ट में, अरे भाई वो तो अभी अप्रूव ही नहीं हुआ। अच्छा दूसरा दाम इसका इतना, अरे मैंने कहा भैया अभी जो हुआ है एक जो प्रोजेक्ट वो तो 400 करोड़ का, कितने का सेंट्रल विस्टा एवेन्यू, और दूसरा 800 प्लस करोड़ का। सो आई डोंट नो वेयर दीज फैंसी फिगर्स आर कमिंग। सो आई चेक इन सम एनवायरमेंटल क्लियरेंस somebody may have said something, but is that the truth?
Well, I would say my takeaway are three things from this conversation. I think you're staying the course. What you've said about how the government handled this difficult period is both interesting and inspiring. Right. And you're remaining focused on the big vision. So I think I really thank you, Mr. Puri. It's a total pleasure listening to you. And more than that, you know, each session here, there's a sense of exuberance among the ministers on stage. Don't you feel a sense of determination? You know, that you'll go and achieve something within timelines. I think this is what is different about the present time. I'm sure it's an exciting time to be in government. Thank you, Mr. Puri.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, sir.